course, we had to say the best for last, man. And look, yes, the first week of All-Stars voting did come out, right? I looked into it, but not too in-depthly because I didn't want the voting to affect my thought process before making this video. Because these picks are just pretty much from what I've seen so far this season and who I think deserves to make an All-Star appearance and who's been balling out. Obviously, like last time, they'll be based off positions, number of All-Star appearances, stats, and also impact on team. These are my NBA 2021 Western Conference All-Stars edition. Let's jump in.
Yeah, I was chasing a check. It felt like chasing a jet. I was on lag, was doing bad. Boy, I was sick with the strep. Hey, F it, I need my respect. Hey,
So for my starters, right, I have Steph, Bron, Kawhi, PG-13, and Jokic. And for my reserves, I have Dame, Luka, Ingram, Mitchell, AD, Zion, and Rudy Gobert. And I gotta say this, it was pretty tough to come up with this list, man. Just because of the fact that a lot of these dudes have been playing good ball this season. And they've been playing about the same as far as averages per game. They're all right there neck and neck with each other. And it's been a strange season. It's been an odd one. So for that reason, I'm throwing out team records. Look at this fact. We had the Raptors 2 days ago, right? They beat the Nets. And that took them from the 10th seed all the way up to the 6th seed in the East. And on the Western Conference side, from the 5th seed to the 12th seed, they're separated by like 2.5 games. I mean, that is just incredible. And if we've been following some of these NBA headlines, I gotta say, some things are pretty suspicious right now, right? As far as the fact that a lot of players, you know, they usually come out and be like, man, I won't play in the All-Star game. Yeah. But now LeBron came out a couple of days ago and said, oh, hey, I think the game's stupid pretty much, and I don't want to play in it. And now I'm like, damn, what's Adam Silver and the NBA gonna do? Like, would they still continue this NBA All-Star game if LeBron decided to sit down? I find that pretty hard to believe. So do we even know if this All-Star game is going to happen or not? But that's beside the point. So let's go into why these dudes should be All-Stars. Warriors are 12-11 this year, right? And that's all because of Steph. Steph is not only just the main catalyst, he's the only catalyst for that team. And when healthy, he clearly showed you the Warriors will be an above 500 team. So which means if they had Klay this year, they would most likely be a championship contender. So it goes without saying, he's carrying that team. Like, we know who Steph is, bro. Dude is giving you 28, 5, and 6 this season. And he had a 60-piece against the Trailblazers a couple weeks ago. And last night to come out and give you a 57-piece against the Mavs. Dude is playing next-level ball right now. I got to show love to the elderly, man. Got to show love to Bron, who I think will be making his 17th All-Star Game appearance. And if I'm not mistaken, he already holds the record for most All-Star Game selections or most All-Star Game appearances at least. So, Father Time ain't got nothing on him. The dude is the current NBA champion. He's the best player in the league. Clearly, and most likely, he will be the captain for the Western Conference in this year's All-Star game. PG-13 in my All-Star game, man, a.k.a. Playoff P, a.k.a. Way Off P, because he's playing really good ball this year, man. He's at 24 points per game. And that's up 3 points per game from last year where he was only shooting 21 points per game. But he's really been efficient this year, and that's what we got to pay attention to. He's shooting 50% from the field. So he's getting it from the 3, from the mid-range, and going inside. So he's been having a really good year. And the Clippers are 1 game out of the number 1 seed, which is important. On top of that, you know, he's playing very good complementary basketball to Kawhi Leonard's game, who is my next starter. And for obvious reasons, Kawhi Leonard is usually one of the best players in the league every year. And he's the best player on the Clippers team who's 1 game out the number 1 seed. And it looks like the Clippers have really figured it out this year. You know, you're not really seeing a lot of load management from Kawhi. He's played 20 out their 24 games. So they really look like they've got it figured out. They're back on track, and they're on their way to having a great season. And they're one of the best teams in the NBA, and it's not close. It's by a wide margin. So because of that, those two dudes are definitely All-Stars. My final Western Conference All-Star starter, I have Jokic, man. I mean, the dude has been on an absolute tear lately. It's funny because a week ago I came in here, I was like, man, Embiid might be the best center in the league. Jokic said, what, bruh? Hold my beer real quick. He proceeds to go to the Jazz, and he drops a 47-piece on them where he destroys Rudy Gobert. And then last night against the Kings, he drops a 50-piece. Even though they lost, dude's offensive game is too elite, and he might actually really be the best center in the league and be to follow. So for my first reserves, I have Dame and I have Luka in the All-Star game, man, for obvious reasons. Those two dudes, when we really talk about unstoppable players, that is them at their core. I mean, talk about having to carry your team on your back. That's what these guys do. For the Trailblazers, right? It seems like every season they go in with a stacked roster. And then 20, 30 games in, everybody's out hurt. And now Dame has to carry that team to a 12-10 record right now. I mean, the dude is special because he's averaging, I think, 29 points per game right now. So both Luka and Dame are putting up MVP stats and carrying their teams as usual. My next reserves are Ingram and Zion, man. Another pair I'm going to bunch together. And they're actual teammates. You have Ingram giving you 23, 5, and 4. And you have Zion giving you 23, 7, and 2. I mean, on a nightly basis, you can expect about 50 points from these two dudes. They're two very young and extremely talented offensive players. So I like Ingram to make his second All-Star game appearance. And I like Zion to make his first All-Star game appearance. And on a side note, right, the Pelicans have been playing really good ball lately. I mean, they started pretty rough at the beginning of the season, but it looks like they're finally rounding up into shape and getting into form. And I think they're currently on a 4-game winning streak. And that's the type of energy and momentum you're going to need if you're thinking about being a playoff team and being in playoff contention later on down in the season. I got to shout out Donovan Mitchell, man, as my next reserve. I mean, the Jazz are in the #1 seed, which is pretty hard to do. You have Conley, playing good ball right now. And you have Bogdanovich, who's really been on fire. But at the end of the day, their best player is Donovan Mitchell. And being the #1 seed in the Western Conference, having the best record in the NBA, is not easy to do. So we got to give Donovan his flowers, man. Last but not least, Anthony Davis has to get in the All-Star game. Even if by default, yes, he's only averaging a measly 21, 8, and 3. And he's 29th in the league in scoring, which is insane for Anthony Davis, who's virtually unguardable. But like we said, right, it's a weird season, so we got to respect and understand the slow start. But at the end of the day, the dude's a defending champ. He's a perennial all-star, so there is no reason for us to change the course now and not vote him in the all-star game. Just has to. All right, man, we kept it nice. We kept it short. Definitely had to tell y'all about our NBA 2021 Western Conference All-Stars picks and why these guys should be in the All-Star game. If you like what we talked about today, definitely follow, like, and subscribe to the channel. We got more videos coming, man. Daily sports. Peace.